We have sourced a number of the world's most potentially pretentious ingredients, and we're putting them in front of two normal home cooks to get them to debate, taste and test whether or not they have a place in their kitchens.
You never do intros in one take.
That's true. Boys, your first potentially pretentious ingredient is under the cloche.
Oh, lovely choice of glassware.
Look at that. That is crystallised, very dehydrated somethings. Do you want a whiff?
Yeah, I think I have a guess already.
Go, hit me.
I'm thinking, is it honey?
No.
Smell that.
It's not honey.
That is such a familiar smell.
Here we go again.
Spiced.
Yeah.
What is that smell?
It's a spice we use often, but it's a sweet spice.
Now we're going to break from formula.
Oh.
Because I'm going to tell you what this is, then I want you to eat it. Okay. Because I feel like we've got a decent lineup today, and I think we're really going to build into something exciting.
Okay, I'm here for the ride.
Yeah. These are ahi charapita, widely considered to be the world's most expensive pepper.
Oh, it is pepper. It's a very delicate pepper.
A very fruity, spicy
pepper. Yeah.
Now I have a list of tasting notes. I want to see if, as you eat them, you can check some of these off. You'll be able to see them on your screen now.
Cheers. Yeah.
Oh, nothing until it started to spice. It's got spice.
I haven't got.
Well,
there it is.
Chocolate, cinnamon. Oh my gosh, that's intense.
It's a journey, isn't it? I tried one earlier.
Oh, it's so fruity.
Yes, fruity, tick.
Honey, molasses.
Smoky.
Honey, floral is one of them. Smoky, yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And almost next to no bitterness.
No.
Which isn't common for a chili pepper.
I am drowning in saliva.
It is really wet in my mouth.
It's almost the same effect you get from a Szechuan bud.
It's a very dry heat, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, these actually have been sun-dried.
So you know we've spoken about spice, like chili spice, is actually a very pleasurable, it gives you a bit of a high.
Here we go.
I feel quite heady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
same.
feel quite heady.
Yeah. I know.
It's a really dry heat that hits the back of your tongue, but also a nasal heat. But then you kind of get taken on a journey of fruity, then floral, and sort of this really delicious, almost charred chili heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I find it really interesting. I can kind of see why it's got such a big reputation. Would you like to know a little bit more about it?
Yes, please.
So originated in Peru and Bolivia in the Amazonian rainforest over 4,000 years ago. Super rare, really difficult to cultivate. Are you just really interested or no, the chili's kicking in?
I love the intensity of it from something so small.
Oh.
It just grabs every part of your jaw and your mouth and just pulls out the moisture. It's satisfying.
I'm ejaculating from my nose.
That's on the internet forever. I know what you mean.
Oh, I love it.
Obviously, they're not meant for you just to pick at them individually and go on this sort of weird orgasmic journey. Would you like to try them in a dish?
Yes.
Yeah.
The ahi charapita chili goes phenomenally well with things like chicken and seafood. So you have some scallops and some cooked prawns, doused in olive oil, seasoned. Crush up some of the chilies in the pestle and mortar, or grind them, and then sprinkle them over the top. Give that a sprinkle over your scallops and your prawns, and let's see just how well it does go with seafood.
It's going to take a while, isn't it? Here we go. It's nice doing it together. Let's do it. We're here now. Here we go. It's not as intense when it's accompanied with some fatty meat with it as well. And you can kind of get more of the fruitiness from it rather than just the spice.
I really like it.
We've had a lovely time. I love it when something so simple makes standard food really exciting. I love it. I want more of it. I'm just worried at how much it's going to set us back.
Yeah.
So we sourced these from Peru, where prices for these inside the country are lower than exporting and the prices we pay.
Which is the opposite of what we've seen with products like quinoa, which have become too expensive for the people who grow it.
Exactly, and that's when you're just like, this is ridiculous. Right as we speak, that is generally the understanding, especially from the research that we did, but it's important to mention. We bought an 8-gram pack. How much do you think we paid for 8 grams of the ají charapita chili?
That was 8 grams.
8 grams.
I'm going to say £30.
I was going to say £20.
£44.50, which is about 55 US dollars for that bar about 4 or 5 that you just ground up. So it is pricey for us.
Yeah.
Maybe it should be pricey for us.
Points well made about the price. I absolutely love it. Again, one of those things I would compare with a food experience that everybody should go through. A bit like those amazing crepes and that melon. I love it.
You'd usually pay a lot more for that kind of satisfaction.
Or, especially sat next to your best mate.
Yeah.
Ají charapita, pretentious or not?
It's expensive, but it's very rare and very well sourced and isn't relying on any branding or overarching story that overtakes how good a product it is. So for me, whilst expensive, it's not pretentious.
No. You see the price, you go pretentious. You taste it and you go, that's why. So I don't think it's pretentious.
Great start. Well, this video is going to be about light and shade. Boys, open your eyes.
Where's the cloche?
Wouldn't fit safely.
Yeah, last time we sat down, we thought it was wine, it was tea, and it was this colour. It's not tea.
It's wine.
Oh, it's a funky, what is that?
Funky wine?
Syrupy.
So sweet.
Very thick.
I don't say wine, honey. It's honey.
It's not mead.
It's not mead.
It is wine, and it's made from grapes that have been infected with Pretentious cinerea fungus, which looks like this. So this fungus is also known as noble rot. The wine is prized for its quality, complexity, and it achieves a sweeter result as a result of the fungal infection.
I'm really conflicted because I liked the taste of it.
Yeah.
And then you used the word, it's been infected.
Yeah.
But you said noble rot, and that is the name of a restaurant in London. Fact for you.
There we go.
Don went there.
Did you? They should change their name to Pretentious. Would you like to see the bottle?
Yeah. Ooh.
So it's only available and only actually works on certain white grape varieties because the skins basically have to be thin and the bunches of grapes have to be tightly packed because obviously the fungus spreads across the individual grapes, which actually makes harvesting them a lot more difficult because they all have to be hand-picked because you need a certain amount of coverage, obviously, and if it's not covering the entire bunch, you have to go through and pick the right ones. But it is said to intense the sweetness. It's also said to bring out additional flavours of honeysuckle, dried apricot, honey, beeswax, caramel, nuts, toast, ginger-ish. Which is interesting, the fact that alone can draw out so many different elements of flavours and create a wine that is very uncommon to what we classify as a wine.
Yeah, it's very, very sweet. I can't get my head around the fact that it's been infected with fungus.
No, it doesn't give you that, it's not mouldy in its taste or smell. It's very fresh, it's very elegant. It's the opposite of that image.
I can see why they don't put that on the bottle.
So in terms of the science as to how this impacts the taste, it actually concentrates the juice of the grape and adjusts the metabolism of it, which then causes it to last longer and taste more complex. So it's almost like a mutant grape.
Really interesting.
Yeah, really interesting. I like it, but I don't love it. I'm glad I've had it.
Yeah. Well, let's talk price. How much do you think we paid for that
Bottle. I'm going to say that is about £25, which is a lot of money for half a bottle of sweet wine.
I had £25 in my head as well, actually.
£32.
Okay.
That's a lot of money.
40 US dollars.
I can only think of a pretentious type of person enjoying this, and therefore I think by default that makes this pretentious. Nothing wrong in pretentious people. No. Hello.
I don't think it's pretentious. I think it's expensive, but I think it's quality and a backstory. I don't think it's pretentious.
Well, we're split with that one. Let's move on to number 3. Lift it, boys.
Odourless yellow substance. Doesn't look oily.
Oil.
Oil. Just oil. That's just
I don't know what kind of oil that is.
We, on this show, we have had a lot of oil. Lots of shots
yeah.
of oil. So we should get this.
I'm going to play a little game. I'm going to take you on a bit of a journey.
Okay.
I'm going to reveal some things at different times because I think this will be an interesting journey. So this is algae cooking oil. Okay, so it's single source and essentially it's extracted quite similarly to how they press olive oil, but from microalgae, which is grown in fermentation tanks, fed sugar, and then they convert that into oil. It contains 75% less saturated fat than olive oil and avocado oil.
Wow.
It uses 200 times less water, 14 times less land, 50% less CO2 than olive oil. And in its usage, it is flavourless and it has one of the highest smoke points of all oils in existence. So peanut oil has one of the highest, which has a smoke point of 230 degrees C. This has a 260 degrees centigrade smoking point.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
So, what do you think of all of that?
When it comes to high smoking point, I often use like nut oils, but they impart quite a lot of flavour into the food. So I think this might be like a small alternative.
Well, this is the bottle. Have a look at that.
Okay.
Thrive Culinary Cardio Oil, the best oil for your heart. Ooh. Ooh. Thrive, who's the company that makes it, describe themselves as a nutrition science company. That's not a food company. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's...
Look at the amazing stuff, to play devil's advocate,
Yeah.
Look at the amazing stuff being done with seaweed at the moment. Scientists are the ones breaking the ground and doing the testing.
Yeah.
Then that's moving over to the food industry to then utilise that nutritionally. However, like we spoke through some of the great things about algae cooking oil, and I just thought it was very interesting that they've wade way into the health benefits side of things when it comes to pretty much all of the marketing and all of the branding.
For me, a lot of it comes from the whole kind of culture around calorie counting that's out there that I really struggle with. Calories aren't a bad thing. Like, it's making sure you get the right types of fat into your diet. When they see a nice salad and you're pouring over olive oil for that little flourish at the end, some people go, oh, you've just ruined it, you've added too many calories to it. It goes, no, I've made it delicious and really good for you. It depends on which way you look at it. I do really like these sort of products out there. Whether or not they catch on, I don't know.
It's all well and good talking about it. Would you like to try it by frying an egg in it?
Yeah! That is the perfect emoji.
Right, let's see if that's carrying any of the flavour. Has the oil imparted any
No,
flavour?
that's just well eggy.
Yeah?
That's just well eggy.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we kind of proved one of the claims. Before I let you know the price, what are your overall thoughts?
I'm really interested in the technology that sits behind creating oil from algae, because we know that algae, seaweeds, that kind of whole area is having a massive moment right now, and there's so much there that we don't know yet of how much good it can do. Branding wise, I know exactly why they've gone down the heart health, cardio, best oil for your heart. I know why they've done that. I don't know if they need to.
I've always understood that you spend your money on finishing oils. An extra virgin olive oil is where you put your money because it's all about the taste. And if it's having a cooking oil,
veg oil,
just go the cheapest stuff because you're just going to use loads of it. You don't want to waste your money. But actually, the latter is what you eat the most of is going into your body. So make sure it's the good stuff.
Well, algae oils are notoriously on the more expensive side. Would you like to take a guess as to how much we paid for that bottle?
If I say £10, I'm going to look silly.
You were really silly. I think you can buy a good olive oil the same size, £15 easily. So I'm going towards 20.
I'd settle at 15.
Would either of you settle at 47?
Damn.
The Thrive Reserve Algae Oil, pretentious or not?
I think it's really, really hard to justify from a person's perspective of spending nearly £50 on a bottle of oil, regardless of how good it is for the environment, regardless of how good it is for your body. I think it's a really tough sell.
We've covered some really interesting ground in here, but at the end of the day, it's a £50 bottle of oil that tastes of nothing. Pretentious. Come on.
The comments are going to be screaming that it's pretentious, and I think they're right, but what sits behind it in terms of the algae oil and the possibilities that are there is really exciting. I think for the moment it's pretentious.
Do you? I think it's just really, really expensive and inaccessible. But I'm not being asked the question. Number 4, put your seatbelts on. Boys, lift the cloche on number 4, the final
Can I?
potentially pretentious ingredient. Lift it together.
This
It's in a pretentious box.
lovely bit of business.
2014, 11 years old.
Very light.
Is it?
Ooh, that's an empty box.
Is it?
Haupt Lakritz. Okay. Tissue paper.
And this is genuinely how it came.
What?
That was open.
Well, no, sorry, we opened it to take
Right,
some sexies of it. There it is.
Right, it's been too long since we've seen something in a pretentious ingredients that's covered in gold. Finally, we're back.
I feel like I need to tell you everything and then you taste it. So this is Haupt Lakritz, go for gold. The world's most expensive licorice consists of a 10-gram milk chocolate truffle filled with sturgeon caviar. It's licorice caramel flavoured with 100-year-old balsamic vinegar, Gianduja on Piedmontese hazelnut flavoured with white Alba truffle, black Perigord truffle, Japanese snow salt and 24-carat gold leaf.
All in there.
That is the most pretentious Willy Wonka work ever.
It is.
You know how earlier you showed us a photo of those mouldy grapes?
Yeah.
Can you show me a photo of Christian Hoopt? I want to see his face.
I don't have my phone on me.
I'm going to Google it, because he's got to be a spectacular person, isn't he?
I wanted him to look like
He looks
Thor.
normal. He looks normal and not pretentious. What's he up to? He's crazy.
I'm going to give you a sharp knife and you're going to try and halve it. Remembering that you have one mouthful to be able to describe and get all the information required to let everyone watching whether or not you think it's A, good and B, pretentious.
Okay, right.
So no pressure. This is every single pretentious ingredient we've done over the past 6 years in one thing, in half a mouthful.
I'm off. It's going.
Well done, Barry, yes.
Should we have a look at the cross section?
Interesting.
I'll go for a quarter.
Go for a quarter.
Right, let's have a sniff. I'm just getting chocolate, a little bit of licorice and hazelnut.
Chocolate and hazelnut, I'm getting.
Do ya?
Boys, cheers.
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 How odd.
That was it, guys. That was it. That was it. Okay.
About 15 seconds into eating it, did you suddenly feel like it was about to get really fishy and then didn't?
Yeah, I had that.
It went, oh, here we go. Why am I tasting? I'm not.
I tasted chocolate, hazelnut, tiny little bit of salt.
Well seasoned.
Yeah. That is Nutella.
No, I'd say it's
nicer than Nutella.
It's more Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah.
But
Ambassador, you're spoiling us.
I think I got a bit of actual truffle, not chocolate truffle.
I'm left with the mushroominess of truffle.
Yeah.
But when I was eating it, I was eating a sweet chocolate truffle, chocolate and hazelnut truffle. So I'm confused.
After the unboxing experience and having one morsel within there, it is terribly disappointing.
I was really hoping that would taste of the greatest thing I'd ever put in my mouth.
It's really disappointing with the journey we've been on.
Okay, should we talk price?
Oh, God.
These are purchased by the ball. They weigh roughly around 12 grams. How much do you think we paid for one of them?
I have a horrible number in my head. I'm going to say £50. And I can't believe I'm saying £50.
No, I think I could justify in some realm that this might be £5 or £6, which is still a lot of. No. I mean, like for a single truffle, you would go, okay, £6-7 for a single truffle is a lot of money for a single truffle. But this truffle has all that in it. So therefore, I still think if I'm going to say £20, and I think that is a disgusting amount of money for a single truffle.
Right, now I just want to make it clear that all profits for the sale of this particular product go to charity.
All the profits?
All the profits.
We look like now, don't we?
You've made us look like right pricks.
No, I'm just giving myself some headroom. A 12-gram ball of the Lakritz Go for Gold sell for £290.62, which is $356 US.
Right. Are we paying? Is that paying for the truffle, or is that a donation
it's
to charity?
Going to charity.
Is it a donation?
But what's the profit?
Yeah, we're going to gift aid it. It's fine.
£290.
62 pence.
Are we?
That's the profit that's going to charity.
I don't want to put words in your mouth. We might have found the most pretentious thing on the planet.
I think we've completed it.
I think we might have completed it.
Yeah.
Which is why when we saw this, first we felt absolutely dead inside, but then we thought we've got to do this. We've got to find out what this thing tastes like.
It's really hard to understand this. I'd love, please, get in touch, talk to us, because we want to understand this. Are we being out of line? Usually, I would say pretentious doesn't mean a bad thing. This is bordering on bad.
It could be a charitable exercise.
It could be. In that case, we're completely wrong.
You ready for the question? The Haupt Lakritz Go for Gold. Pretentious or not?
I think after years of doing pretentious ingredients, I think now we can finally
Close the book
and give the award for pretentious ingredient of all time. If you can explain yourself, then fair dues. If you can't, then please take this as an award, as the most pretentious ingredient we have ever seen. Congratulations.
Well, over to you guys. What did you make of those? We would like to make some more pretentious ingredient videos if we can find more products.
What's the point?
Let us know if you see anything that you'd like us to review. I even think that a couple of you actually suggested this exact one. So thank you very much for helping us complete pretentious ingredients. But we would like to do some more. So let us know down in the comments and give this video a like if you enjoyed it.
We've peaked.
I actually feel a little bit sicky after that as well.